Yes.
So this is restorative yoga for carpal tunnel. For RSI injuries, our first pose we're going to work on is a pose that I recommend to anyone, anytime. If you only have 15 minutes or 10 minutes to take a break that day, this is the #1 stress reliever. This is it. This is a very good beginning to get you to drop into the awareness of your breath. Okay? There are many ways to get into the pose. I'm going to show you the singular easiest way. For injured folks, I would not use a high bolster, so I'm going to have a high bolster here. I think other options I would have would be flat on your back or a smaller rolled up blanket. So instead of this height, you could use a smaller one. The goal is right here on top of your lift. It could be flat on the ground, or it could be a lift like this. You're going to try to put the top ridge of your sacrum, and that's more or less where the hips come together at the spine, the top ridge of the sacrum. To get that to line up right here, we're going to have the bottom end of the tailbone, the coccyx, roll over the edge of the bolster. So you have to have a good butt's distance, at least a fist or two away from the wall. If you have tight hamstrings, you're going to move this even further away from the wall. When you get into the position, you don't want the hamstrings to be hurting. Okay? A lot of guys, they'll say the back of the knees could get on fire. It hurts. And you don't want that in this pose. So if you're a little further away from the wall, it takes the stretch out of the hamstring. To get into the pose, you approach it backwards. So I come down to my hands and knees, and I'm putting the outer trochanter of the thigh bone onto this corner. So when I come down onto the mat, I use my hands to define the position. The hand that's furthest away from your knees is going to go under this one. So I'll roll down to my elbow and then come through, stick the arm all the way through until I get to my shoulder, rolling gently onto the back, and the legs roll up right up the wall. If you're not, you might come bring the camera here and look and see. You'll see the top of my hips is right on top of this blanket. You can bring the camera and really see close. Okay? What I want to show you is if you're off this way, it's going to slump you, and that's just not it at all. In that case, you put your hands on the other side and you bring your hips closer to the wall. So now it's underneath the belly button. The top ridge of my hips is snugly on, and my tailbone feels like it's slightly rolling that way. It puffs up the chest just a little bit. Okay? Okay? Now, the last thing I'm going to show you for the camera is how to get out of here. When we get out, we'll slide the heels down the wall and we'll stay for a couple of breaths with the knees open. We will assist our knees together with our hands. Roll over to the side. You'll notice this is exactly the way I came in with the hands and everything. Okay, let's all try this.